Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate.
What's up, guys? This is the Til You Collapse Podcast. This is Brian. We're back. And I want to just remind you, what does Til You Collapse stand for? Til You Collapse is a mindset. It's a work ethic. It's doing things that most people won't do to get to places that most people will never get to because they want to get there, but they don't have the action or the work behind it. It's putting 100% effort every day into everything you do to reach your goals. Maybe not literally till you collapse, but figuratively till you collapse. If you give that kind of effort, you will reach your goals. That's what the name means. That's what the brand means. And that's what this podcast is about. So, guys, we've been making some pretty consistent podcasts with my man Memo here.
Oh, yeah.
Pumping them out. You guys been liking them? Hope you do. Fuck.
Oh, I hope so too.
As we always ask, please share the podcast, rate the podcast, subscribe. That's the only way we grow this thing. Really appreciate if you guys can do that. Haven't really been getting that many shares, so I don't know if people haven't been fucking with what we've been doing or what, but I feel like the feedback's good.
Yeah.
You never know, but regardless, we're going to still keep fucking going. I ain't stopping. And, man, it's Monday. Yesterday was Father's Day.
Yep. Yeah.
Did you have a good one?
I was working, but
You worked all day.
Yeah.
I saw a couple shoots, huh?
Yeah. I had an engagement shoot downtown SF, then a wedding all day.
Dang.
So.
In the Bay Area?
Yep.
How is it down there? Is it like crazy and shit? They still make you wear masks and stuff?
It's pretty crazy. Half and half wear masks. They don't really care that much, but they prefer that you do.
Do they still try to make you?
Some places do.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You have to be vaccinated too, and still wear a mask to come in sometimes.
Still?
Some places, yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
The fuck?
It's SF, man. You can't even legally have a gun in your car there. It's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't ever going there. Fuck that place. Seriously. You know I don't fuck with that shit.
Oh yeah.
So guys, yesterday was Father's Day. I had an amazing day. As you guys know, I have 4 kids and they're literally my world. Had a great day, and fucking hurt my ankle, my fucking Achilles. Fucking roughhousing in the pool for a few hours with my fucking kids, and this is 40. I turned 40 in 5 days, and I'm feeling it, man. But I'm limping around here and shit, but it was worth it, honestly. And man, yesterday, I gotta say, was a really special one for me because my kids are all getting older, and today we're gonna be talking about fathers and dads, and the being successful and having a business and what goes into it. And we're going to talk about a bunch of things, but it's going to revolve around fatherhood because yesterday was Father's Day and I want to talk about it. And it's something I get asked about a lot because you guys know I have 4 kids and you guys know I have multiple businesses and I'm very busy and I work more than most. And how do I balance it all? And, to tell you the truth, I'm still trying to fucking figure that out, honestly. And like I said, yesterday was a special one for me because it's something I've struggled with for a lot of years because I am so motivated, I am so determined, I have such a high work ethic, and it's hard for me to balance because when you quote unquote balance, the other end suffers. So either my family life suffers when I focus on work, or I focus on family life, work suffers. So there's always something gonna give. Whenever you realize when you try to do the balance thing, something's gonna give, and you gotta find what works for you, and we're all different, and find what works in whatever phase of your life in. If you're in a full business growth phase, then know that it's less family time. If your business is in a good place and it's up and running and you have a good team behind you, then know you may have a little more time for your family. But what I'm getting at is something I've struggled at because I've tried. It's something I struggle with, like I said, and my kids validated it yesterday. I literally cried multiple times just because the cards that they all wrote me, and now they're getting to the age and just the special things that they wrote me, and I know that they mean it. And the things they tell me validate that this is all worth it. It's things that they see me doing. It's things that they appreciate. It's things that they tell me that makes it all worth it because I am an example for them. And I set the example as a father and a leader, and they're noticing it, and that's everything to me. Because sometimes I question myself, like, Am I doing this right? Do they even know why I'm doing it? But the thing is, I want to tell you guys as fathers, I'm going to tell you guys some tips coming from me through experience, basically. So if you're a father or a mother listening to this, not just for mothers, father, I'm just saying fathers because it's Father's Day. But, you know, as far as balance, I've tried the whole quantity, you know, spend more time with them. But the problem was I wasn't as present in the past. And I can tell you with being recently over the last year or so, I've been a lot more present. It hasn't been as much quantity, but it's been way more quality. And being present is all they really want and need. I tell you what, it doesn't even matter what you do. As long as you're totally disconnected from work, your phone's literally in a different room, and they have all your attention and all your focus. It doesn't matter if you're fucking sitting on the couch doing nothing. They notice the difference. And I noticed them from my kids and how they respond since I've really been focusing more on being present and more quality time than a whole quantity shit. And that's what you need to focus on, because even though the time you may spend with them is less, they notice the difference. You can't fake it. They can feel it. And you feel it too. And here's the thing. Communicate with them. A lot of you guys, like, you act like your kids are fucking smarter than you even realize. Like, the kids are smart as shit. They see things, they hear things, they realize more than you even know. And even as small as my youngest kids, even at 3-4 years old, she's 5 now, but even things that she writes, like she writes things in school, like, you know, when they do the whole daddy or mommy, and like, you know, I love my daddy, my dad's this much old, and like she writes things like, you know, my daddy works so hard for us, and this stuff like this. Like, they realize it at this young age. And the thing is, a lot of you parents, it's almost like you don't communicate, or you treat them differently. Like, you can communicate with your kids much more than you even realize. And I realize communication is a huge issue that a lot of us have with our spouses, with our friends, with our employees, with our kids. But communication is what really helps with this whole thing. Because if you don't communicate with your kids, they don't know why you're working so much. They don't know why you're gone so much. Just like we talk about communicating with your team, the vision for the company and how you grow the company and how you create that vision for your team, for them to see their goals and their life within your company. You have to do the same thing with your children, guys. Like, the kids need to see the vision for the family. Dad or mom is working so much. I'm working a lot. I love you guys. I wish I was here for you. But we're building an empire. We're building an opportunity so that the family has more time together. We can have time to go on vacations. We don't have to worry about money. Communicate with them. Let them know why. And I promise you, once I started doing that, like the last couple of years, it totally changed it. Because before, they don't get it. They don't understand. They just know that you're gone all the time. They know you're not there. They know you're not present when you're there. How do you think they're going to respond to that? Right, Memo? Yeah. I mean, I know you don't have much input on this podcast. You don't have any kids of your own. But like I said,
I get that.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
So, I mean, it's going to be more of me thing. You can just listen and look pretty over there. But the thing is, guys, like I said, communicate with your kids. Not as if they're adults, because they're not adults. But, I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, the thing is, you guys try to dumb things down, but you know these kids are bright as hell. They realize it all. So communicate them why, and then they'll understand why. And then they'll support your vision, and they'll support you. And they won't make you feel bad, and they won't make you feel guilty. Like, my kids, it's almost like since I started communicating and being more present, they're more supportive of the whole thing. As opposed, like they make you feel bad. They want you to spend time with them. I get it, and that feels bad. But once they realize like this is a family goal, let's make it a family goal and bring it together. Because being a parent, being a father, being a mother, this is the most amazing, best fucking job in the world. I'll tell you what. And we have an obligation, especially nowadays more than ever, the way this country is going with all these fucked up kids and all this fucked up generation. It's because of the parents. It's because of you. Not you necessarily listening, but like, it's because of the parent. Like, look in the mirror. The reason why the children is the way they are is because of the parents. Parents are selfish. They're worried about themselves. They don't realize, like, this is the biggest responsibility in the world. And that for the fathers and mothers that don't show up for their kids, fuck you. Like, real talk. Like, there is nothing more beautiful and wonderful than bringing a life into this world and having a kid. Like, it's beyond anything I've ever done. It's the most important thing in my life. Like, I will do anything for any of my kids, and it comes before anything. Like, there's nothing business-wise, there's nothing on any other level that trumps that. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. And if you're a parent, if you're a father and mother, you can't show up for your kid, that's a damn shame. You know what? You're big enough to fucking have sex and fucking have a kid, but then you can't show up and raise that kid? You're never going to win in life. I promise you what. You're never going to get to your goals. And it's just embarrassing. Honestly, it's a damn shame. And this country is where it is because it's happening more than ever. Like, these kids need to be raised with old school values and old school ethics. They need to know what discipline is. They need to know what work is. They need to be example. They have no example to go by. Why do you think they are the way they are? They're watching and listening to everything you do. I hope you realize that. You are the example in all aspects of life. They look up to you. Even at 3-4 years old. I promise you, there's stuff my youngest has picked up on. She's brighter than I could ever imagine. I'm like, holy shit, she totally knew what was going on at 3-4 years old. So don't fucking use the age as an excuse. These kids know what's going on at all times. And if you have older kids, they definitely know. Now more than ever with technology, with social media, they get it. I mean, what do you think about this generation, man? Because you're a little younger, but like I said, for your age, I feel like you're different than most. I mean, that's why we get along so much, and that's why you're even here. But like, what do you feel like? Like, do you? I mean, I feel like you have your finger on the pulse more. You deal with more younger people. Do you see what do you see out there?
I definitely do see a difference, partly because I was out of that house earlier and I had to mature earlier because I have a business, obviously. I get so. It's I don't have my real dad's not in my life, so I have a stepdad that's filled that role. Luckily for me, he's more of a father figure than an actual dad. The biggest thing was growing up with that is that just communication between the two. Because I remember everything growing up with him, all the way from like being 5, 6, 7 years old. I remember all the little things. I remember all the bad things. That's the biggest thing I remember. And it was kind of, I don't know. It was tough at first, and eventually got over it, but it just continued. And it's hard to say, like tough love, I guess you could say. That was how I became who I am, because it was a lot of tough love, because he was hard on me. Yeah. He wasn't easy.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like,
as in, I got spanked growing up by him, even though he's a stepdad. Yeah. I got spanked. We did fight a few times. And just physically yelling at each other, everything like that. He was tough on me growing up because I needed it.
For sure. And that's discipline. That's what I'm talking about.
And it was.
Yeah.
It was. And I was a crazy wild kid when I was young, being raised by my mom, who was 17 years old at the time. So, as you can imagine.
Yeah. So
it's more being soft in a sense. Parents is letting the kids do whatever they want nowadays. They could do whatever they want, go where they want. They could 16, 17-year-old go to parties all night long until 12, 1 a.m.
I see like kids say things to their parents, and I'm like, if my kid said that to me, I would fucking smack him in the mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because I'm old school like that. Like, you know, we discipline our kids, and honestly, there's times when we should do it more. Like, we've done it more in the past, but like, I'm old school. Like, that shit doesn't fly. That shit doesn't fly. You know what I mean? And I see it. I'm just like, holy shit, that parents just going to act like their kid didn't say that to them. So, and that is the reason why. Yeah. And that's the reason why a lot of these kids think they can like say shit to people and there's no repercussions. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's because at the same time, I don't know if you hear about all the stories about kids reporting to parents for abuse and stuff like that, even though it's just them disciplining them, spanking them. Things. Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
It's pretty much got them worse because of that, in a sense. So.
Fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
But like I said, guys, it's one of the hardest jobs out there. It's one of the most fulfilling jobs out there. And we're all trying to figure it out. There's no perfect answer. I can just tell you, though, there's plenty I feel like I've done wrong. There's some I feel like I've done right. I'm very proud of my kids, who they are and who they're turning out to be. And that's a reflection of me and their mother. And we're still trying to figure it out. Like I said, I know I've done plenty wrong in the first phase of this life when I was growing this business in the first half of it. More recently, because I continually try to improve myself and grow, I know that there's been positive differences, and I know the biggest thing, like I'm sharing with you guys right now, listening to this, if you have kids, you're having kids, the biggest thing is communication with the kids as if they're not fucking babies and they don't understand shit, because they do. And then also, be present. Have quality time. Make sure you know that is what it's all about, right? That's the main thing. And just know that you're learning, and know that you've given them your all, your love, have the best intentions, and make sure they know they're loved. Make sure they know you care. Make sure they're there. They know you're there to listen to them. And I promise you that all of it will work itself out, because it is a very difficult, hard job, but in the sense it's not, because kids respond to love. You got to love them and make sure they know and they feel the love. And that's the biggest thing, honestly.
Even when you discipline them.
Huh?
Even when you discipline them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Let them know why they're being disciplined. I promise you, they know why. For the most part, they know why.
They do, but they don't want to admit it. And they're going to cry and hate you for a minute.
But I do notice whenever I do discipline my kids, they respect it. They realize it. You know, they'll either come back and apologize, or they'll realize it. Even though they don't like you right in the moment, they'll realize. Like, you know when you're being disciplined that you fucked up. Mm-hmm. They do, you know. So that's really all I want to talk about today. It's not going to be too long a podcast. I just want to make sure you guys know that this shit is something we all struggle with. I still struggle with it. You guys always, I appreciate your guys' messages. You guys are always respond to my stuff. You know, I show my family, and I share them with you guys on social media. But, you know, I'm not a perfect dad. I'm far from it. But those things I talked about in the podcast are truly the way I do things. And I'm very proud of the young men and women I'm raising. And I promise you, they will be old school. They're not going to be like this young generation if there's anything I have to do with it. So yeah, I'm here. Please share this episode. We're going to record another one this week. We're doing at least 2 a week, I think. If you know what? I'm going to actually put something up on my story. Maybe we'll do a Q&A podcast next, where I'll put up questions on there for you guys to ask, and we'll answer the questions, and we'll answer them live on the next podcast. So I'll put that up in the next day or two, because we'll record one at the end of this week. Yeah. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys. We're out.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate.